Hello everyone and welcome to another speed build. So today I am building kind of like a fairy tale build but in my own twist. It's a mushroom house. I called it the Amanita house. I really love this mushroom so much. It's so beautiful. I actually collect Amanita figurines and sculptures and stuff, so I really wanted to make this work. I think it turned out really nice on the outside, but you'll see the inside eventually. I'm not sure I'm 100% happy with the inside, so I might do it over again. So I started building this build in the neighborhood of Newcrest, right next to my other speed build I did a week ago, the modern tiny house. But I will be placing it in Granite Falls, a little bit out in the speed build, because I thought it would fit better in kind of like a woodland area instead. So this is a really tiny build as well. So I did struggle a little bit with where to place stuff and everything, but since it's going to be, in my game at least, a rental, I thought it would be totally okay to have a tiny build. So the outside didn't take as long, but I did use a little bit of time to figure out what to do with the white spots on top of the red hat. Which you will see. I think I solved it pretty nicely. I think it looks kind of cool. I think I used spa day rocks to make the dots, and I just elevated them with the 9 key. So here you can see I'm going through my stuff to check out what I could use, and I try out for a couple of different things first before I find the spa day rock statue. So I tried this mannequin as well because it has a round head, so I thought that would maybe be cool, but I didn't think it looked right enough, so I tried this rock and I thought that looked much cooler. So I just placed a lot of those around the lot, and then I elevated them and just made it look nice. So here I'm just making a platform around the house because I built this before we got the terrain tool, so I wanted to make it look like it was standing kind of like on top of something, just the illusion of some terrain at least. I think I'm going to redo this build in a little while, since we got the terrain tool, and I think I want to do something different with the inside. And here I'm just trying to make the roof under the hat and make it look alright. So I actually, since we don't have like round ceilings or floors, I had to make it in this really weird shape, but I think it worked out in the end, and I think it looks kind of cool. I wish we had more fairy tale kind of furniture, because then I would probably have furnished it way more fairy tale like, and yeah, it's going to be much more modern inside, which I'm not sure I really like, so we'll see. I think I'm going to do it over sometime in the future. And yeah, figuring out how to shape out the floors here, it took me some time, but I figured it out in the end, and I'm a bit obsessed with making it look perfect from every angle, even though you're probably not going to see the ceiling underneath the roof that much, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so just gotta try and make it work. So here you can see me sizing up these spa day rocks and just trying to put them in different sizes on different places around the roof, just trying to make it look like a mushroom. And this roof is the only roof we have in red, at least the only roof we had in red when I built it. So I might also change that if we got another roof in Get Famous, I think, which might also be red, which is a bit not as textured, because the hat of the Amanita is really not that textured. It's really shiny and smooth. So I might do that. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I would really like to hear what you guys think. If I should redo this build, is it okay as it is? I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments. So I am just going through some stuff here and trying to figure out if there is any other way I can make the spots on top here, and I just eventually go with the spa day rocks, and I just think that those look the best. So just placing some more of those. I think in real time this took me about an hour or so. So I did try and speed this up as much as possible, so this video wouldn't be too long. It's actually only 15 minutes or so with like the pictures at the end. So I think it's not too long, this video. I actually like making shorter videos but also longer videos because it kind of depends on the build. I really want to show you guys every part of the process when I build, but I know some people don't have that long attention span, and some people really enjoy watching long videos, so I try to make a little bit of both. And here I'm like trying, yeah, and here you can see I changed over to Granite Falls because I really wanted to make it look like you are like really tiny and you're living in a real life sized mushroom. So I sized up these trees and I sized up some more of these plants, and because I sized up these plants, the footprint goes into the house, and that made for some trouble when I play tested it. So I do change some of the interior off camera before I took the pictures, so you will see that it will change on the inside at the end. And so here I'm just sizing up some rocks and just putting them all over around the platform here, just to make it look like there's a bit of raised area. And I think this would look so much better with the terrain tool. But yeah, I really like putting rocks all around the place just to make it look more realistic. I really enjoy landscaping, and just putting down even bigger rocks at the end or at the back. And I also size up some flowers which I put around there, which I also think looks really good. And as I said, this is, in my game at least, a rental place, because I thought it looked so much better in Granite Falls because you have the forest around and the woodlands, and I think it worked out really, really nice. And here I'm just placing down my favorite grass, which I thought looked really nice because it kind of gives the illusion of some grass growing around the mushroom. And here I'm just trying to put down some wallpapers just to see if it will be any different, because as you can see there's a couple of spots that don't really look white there, but I think it's because of the lighting in Granite Falls. So I just leave it be, and I just have the white wallpaper there instead. I think I chose the stucco white wallpaper because it had a bit of texture, and the the roof on the first floor is also white because that's supposed to be the, what do you call it? I don't know the name in English, but it's this thing that hangs on the mushrooms. It looks kind of like a skirt. And here I'm just trying to figure out the kitchen, the best way to have the kitchen, and it's going to be a super tiny kitchen. And the way you see it being made here, it's not going to end up like that at the end, because I was struggling because of the footprint of the fern, like the sized up fern. So I do change it up quite a bit, and then I also move the fern away a little bit. So the Sims can make food here now. And I'm going to have the bathroom in there with no door. It's just going to be like an open area. And here I'm trying to just place some shelves, and I actually really liked how the shelves clipped into each other in the corner there, but I thought it was too much for this tiny build. And I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to place like the living area and the dining area as well, or at least an eating nook. And I was having so much problem deciding what to choose to have behind the couch here. And I think I end up going with these plants. And as you can see, my thought behind the interior here was to continue the red and white theme, which, as I already said, I'm not really sure how happy I am with it, but it was an idea at the time, so I tried to make the best out of it, but I might change that in the future, as I said. And I really wanted to have a bathtub in here, but I quickly found out that that would be difficult because it's just tiny. And this is also going to change a little bit, and I just tried to make some red dots with the carpets there, just continuing the red and white theme, and also a TV over the eating nook. So there is no sofa table in this build, but I will be adding a corner table next to the sofa with some decorations on it. And up here is just a regular bed, and I will also be putting up some bookshelves and a red chair and some red curtains and maybe some more red decorations. And as you can see, it's a quick, tiny build, and I think it turned out okay. I think maybe I could have made it better if I just didn't stick to the red and white theme, but I was kind of on a roll because I really like the colors of the Amanita mushrooms, so I decided to go for that. But sometimes you make stuff that looks really nice, and sometimes you have an idea and you just have to do it, and it doesn't always turn out like you wanted it to. So it's kind of like you try and test out and see if things work out, and I'm really happy with the outside. The inside, not so much. And just trying to find some more red decorations here because I'm just crazy for red right now. And some red towels and some more red decorations. I think this vase with the roses I think is really nice as well, and I was thinking of some more red decorations on the red shelves, but I opted not to do that, so I just put out this corner table instead and put the plant and the incense holder on it. And just going for some red lights all around the build, which there is not a lot of in this game. So I was kind of limited because I really didn't want to use the UFO lights because they don't come in red. You can of course set the lighting to red when you have a Sims or you're in live mode, but I couldn't be bothered. So yeah, this is my Amanita build, and we're heading over to the pictures very soon. This is I wanted to make it look like you're really tiny, and big trees. And here is the living room and kitchen. As you can see, I've changed it up a little bit, so it's much easier to cook in there, and that also made the bathroom change a little bit. And the bedroom stayed the same. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below to tell me what you thought about this build, because I myself am not really sure.